everyone, Max in the UFL here, about to do my 2021 NHL playoff predictions. All the matchups are set besides Golden Knights and Avalanche. There's a potential chance that Avalanche pass the Golden Knights. I think the Knights have 1 game left and the Avalanche have 2, but the Avalanche are 2 points behind. I think Vegas just needs to win 1 more game. So for this prediction, I'm just going to say that Vegas retains the #1 seed spot, even though that can change, and then this will just ruin my entire bracket. And then I'll have to do another one and look like an idiot. We'll start off with the East Division. #1 seed Pittsburgh Penguins versus the #4 seed New York Islanders. Penguins fan, but can I say the Islanders swept us about 2 years ago, and we lost to Montreal in the first round last year. But I'm still going to give Pittsburgh this year is going to make it past the first round. Looking really good right now. To win the cup, I honestly don't think they're going to win the cup, but I think they will beat the Islanders. Capitals, Bruins, I have the Capitals beating the Bruins, and I hate the Capitals, so that should say something. The Penguins, Islanders, I think will be around Game 6. I think series will be tied 2-2 after 4, and then Pittsburgh just nabs the next 2. And the Capitals, Bruins, I think, potential Game 7 there. North Division, you have Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Canadiens. It's my first upset here. I have the Montreal Canadiens beating the Leafs once again in beautiful Game 7. They just can't seem to get out of it. But I do have the Canadiens beating the Leafs. Oilers versus Jets. I have the Oilers beating the Jets, and I think that'll be quite fast, actually. That series, probably Game 5. The Central Division, you have Carolina versus Nashville. And here's my major upset. I have Nashville beating Carolina. And I think that'll be 6 games. I don't even think that'll go to 7. I think Carolina has a lot of skill and a lot of season skill. But when it gets to the playoffs, I think Nashville's got that grit that you need to get past that first round. Florida, Tampa. This is probably going to be, I don't know, some entertaining series. Like Toronto and Montreal, obviously you have to watch that, especially if you're Canadian. Oilers, Jets, it's an all-right series. It's going to be a skillful series. Capitals, Bruins is awesome. Penguins, Islanders, you've all seen it before. But Tampa and Florida, that's the crazy series right there. I think that's going to be the most entertaining series. Anywho, and I'm a big Florida fan, but I think Tampa pulls it off in Game 7. I think Tampa moves on. And then you have Vegas versus the Blues. If it continues to stay that way, I will give Vegas the edge there, and Vegas will win. And then you have Colorado versus Minnesota, and I actually like the Wild a lot, so it's going to be hard to vote against them as well. I'll give the win to the Knights, and then Colorado Wild. I think it'll be Game 7, and who knows who wins, but I will give the edge to the Avalanche, I guess. I'll give the edge to, because I want to see the Knights and Avalanche so bad. Which leads us into the second round, which would be Pittsburgh and the Capitals. And I'd like to say the Capitals are going to go far this year. But you know how it goes. Penguins, Capitals, round 2. Look at the last 3 cups the Penguins have won. I think they've beaten the Capitals in round 2, all 3. I'm going to give the edge to Pittsburgh. Penguins will move on to the Final 4. Even though people had them missing the playoffs this year. Which will leave us to Montreal, Edmonton, where I think Edmonton beats Montreal, and you will see Edmonton in the Final 4. Central Division, you have Tampa versus Nashville, where Tampa's going to run out Nashville. And then the West will be Vegas, Colorado, which will be the most insane series in the playoffs, I think, if that ends up happening. And with that, God, who do you give that to? I think Vegas is a more skilled team, but Colorado is Nathan McKinnon, Rantanen, Landeskog. You got that top first line that can just absolutely dominate a team. But I like Vegas's team better. I'm going to go Vegas. Vegas beats Colorado out for the Final 4 spot. And I don't really know how it's going to work there from the Final 4, because everyone just versus their division for the first 2 rounds. I don't even really know how the third round's going to go, if it's seeding or just whoever you're closer to. But if I'm looking at this right, it would be Pittsburgh versus the Yeah, who would it be? That's a hard choice to see because Oilers would be closer to Vegas, but do we versus the North Division Central? That's a good choice, but I'm just going to go like the East versus the Central and the North versus the West. How about that? So yeah, that would be Tampa versus the Penguins, and I'll give Tampa the edge there, and Tampa goes to the finals, booting out my Pittsburgh Penguins, which leaves Vegas and Oilers, and I'll give that to Vegas, which would be Vegas, Tampa Bay Lightning finals. It's a pretty safe pick, but it could probably happen. And if that happens, I think Vegas finally finishes it off, and Vegas wins the Stanley Cup. The old expansion team is going to win the cup right before the expansion draft. How about that? Vegas wins, Seattle gets a team. It's written perfectly from old Gary Bettman. But yeah, there's my predictions. Short, quick, sweet. Let me know your predictions down below, and my leopard gecko will be making her pick soon. We actually have a video recorded already of the Penguins and Islanders series, so I'll post that soon too. But anywho, these were my predictions. I'm sure Pelland will throw up a video of his predictions. Without further ado, have a good day, like, subscribe, and yeah, there we go.